Here are the most absurd Stewie Griffin moments ever. We start off this absurd list with a truly unhinged adventure from the episode Stewie Goes for a Drive. And make no mistake, this one really leans into the whole baby with a gun chaos, except instead of a gun, he has Brian's car keys. He opens the episode by verbally disintegrating a kid named Gavin with the kind of confidence only a toddler of his kind could have.
Gavin. That's a stupid name. I tried to stick up for you, but I can't because everybody hates you. You're gonna be ugly when you grow up. Oh, hey, Brian. Bye!
Then, without missing a beat, he transforms into a tiny pop diva, breaking into a full-throttle cover of Before He Cheats by Carrie Underwood.
Shut up, it's not training them better. I took a Louisville Slugger to both headlights.
Apparently, Stewie thinks this qualifies him for Glee, and in a burst of diva rage, he accidentally shifts the car into drive.
Oh my god. That was amazing! I can drive!
And just like that, Stewie does what any responsible baby would do. He steals the car. He grabs Brian's keys, fires up the engine, and hits the road solo like a smug toddler version of Vin Diesel.
Oh my god, Rupert, this is such a thrill!
His joyride soon turns into something even more absurd when he hears about a Justin Bieber ticket giveaway on the radio.
And that was Baby by Justin Bieber featuring Ludacris, which means it's time to give away some Justin Bieber tickets!
Because obviously this baby who literally builds time machines is also a believer. He pulls out his phone to enter the contest while driving. Yes, the 1-year-old is texting and driving.
It's ringing, Rupert. It's ringing. I'm too nervous. They're celebrities. You talk to them.
When Brian gets home and sees the totaled car, Stewie does his best to play dumb, but Brian is not buying it.
Look at this! Do you know anything about this?
About what?
Stewie, I know it was you.
He does what any baby would do in this situation, recording a dramatic goodbye DVD and running away from home.
What the?
Brian, I've decided to run away. Don't come looking for me. And definitely don't chase me to the airport and catch me at the gate just before I'm about to get on the plane.
Stewie hops on a bus to the airport, except it's the wrong bus.
What? This isn't the airport. Oh my god, Rupert, we've got to get out of here!
Oh, no, baby fall down.
Is that Consuela?
Consuela decides Stewie is now her baby, and when Brian tracks him down using his dog nose, because yes, we all keep forgetting Brian is a literal dog, she refuses to give him back.
He's my baby, Ernesto.
I'm not Ernesto. Okay, this is so effed up right now.
In the end, Stewie returns home with Brian, completely unbothered by the fact that he just committed a felony during someone's coming-of-age celebration. So, to recap, Stewie publicly insults a child, hijacks a car, crashes said car, and shoots his way out of a party, all in one episode. And we're only getting started. He doubles down on insanity in Patriot games, proving once again that being a baby does not stop him from acting like a full-blown mob boss. We kick things off in his bedroom, where Stewie is collecting gambling debts from his stuffed animals. That's already unhinged, but it sets the tone for what comes next.
Ooh, Rupert, bad idea trusting the Celtics. Worse than when I trusted Brian to pack my parachute.
He sees Brian's betrayal as the beginning of war, so naturally, he baits him into his celebrity boxing bet. Mike Tyson versus Carol Channing. It sounds like an easy win for Brian, but this is Family Guy, where logic has no home. Carol Channing defeats Tyson in the most absurd way.
You ain't so tough, young man. That all you got, you son of a bitch? You're going down, young man. You're going down.
I can't believe this. She keeps getting up. I'm so exhausted.
Brian loses. Stewie demands his $50, but Brian refuses.
Yeah, well, here's a suggestion. Have the money by tomorrow and there won't be any problems.
Why? What happens in 24 hours? I don't know. Not psychic, man. I'm just saying it would probably be better for everybody if you had the money tomorrow.
That line alone is absurd. He sounds like a loan shark from The Sopranos. Brian shrugs it off, a mistake he immediately regrets.
Yeah, that hurt? That hurt?
What the hell?
Yeah, it don't feel so good, does it? No, huh? Yeah, that's what happens, man.
Oh my God!
Yeah, that's what happens.
The next time Brian turns around, Stewie has a golf club.
Tired of you ducking me, man. Yeah?
Oh my God!
Yeah. How much you pay for that fake mustache?
$2.99.
As if that's not deranged enough, Stewie then torches him with a flamethrower. Let's pause this for a second. All of this over $50. While Peter is off singing show tunes on the football field and getting transferred to a British soccer team, because of course that's what's happening in the B plot, and when he finally offers Brian a shot at revenge, he does it in the most unhinged way possible.
Right, all right. I tell you what. You get one free revenge shot at me.
Okay, but I'm not going to tell you when it's coming. This is gonna be fun.
At the end of the episode, Brian finally lands the hit, and even that feels tame compared to everything Stewie dished out. Stewie's actions in this episode are not just petty, but very dark. This is a baby who turned into a full-blown movie villain over a missing $50 bill. But surely he wouldn't ruin Christmas, right? Wrong. So very wrong. In Road to the North Pole, Stewie manages to turn the most magical holiday into an awful experience. It all starts off innocently enough. The Griffins sing a joyful holiday number listing their Christmas wishes. Everyone asks for things like toys and peace. Stewie, he wants yellow cake uranium.
Yellow cake uranium, never mind the reason.
We don't need a reason, Stewie. You're just casually requesting materials for a nuclear device. Soon after, Stewie and Brian head to the mall so Stewie can meet Santa in person. But when they finally arrive after waiting on the line for a long time...
We've been in line for like 2 hours.
Sorry, I'm done. You want your kid to sit on my lap? Meet me at the bar at Applebee's.
Oh, that sucks. Sorry, Stewie.
That son of a bitch. He just turned his back on me.
Stewie tries convincing Brian into driving him to the North Pole. Brian, who angered Quagmire at the mall earlier, sees this as a perfect opportunity to get away. However, instead of going straight north, Brian tries to trick Stewie into visiting a Christmas fair instead.
Hey, Stewie, wake up. We're here. We're at the North Pole.
What? Wait, North Pole? North Pole. North Pole! There it is!
Stewie catches on and pulls a gun on him. A totally normal escalation for a toddler. What follows is basically a holiday version of The Revenant. They crash their car in the snow, steal a snowmobile, spend the night in an abandoned shack, and eventually arrive at the North Pole, expecting magic. What they find instead is a nightmare.
Oh my God! You're Santa Claus!
And I'm going to kill you!
Ah, thank God.
What?
Do it. Please, put me out of my misery.
Santa is near death. The elves look like something out of a Tim Burton fever dream, and the reindeer, diseased, mutated, overworked. Why? Because consumerism has driven Santa's workshop into a state of genetic collapse from years of forced inbreeding just to meet demand.
I started with one family of magic elves, and every year I needed more and more to keep up. Now they're just a sickly race of mutated genetic disasters.
Stewie, oddly enough, accepts to help. He and Brian take it upon themselves to deliver the presents. They break into a house and start placing gifts, until a homeowner confronts them. He's confused. Stewie responds like a true maniac.
It's kind of a funny story. What the hell did you do?
He was gonna call the cops, man!
Then, it gets worse. The man's daughter sees them, her mother rushes down, chaos ensues. In a panic, Stewie hits her too, right in front of her child. With no other plan, he duct tapes the sobbing girl and ties her on the chair. How absurd is that? At this point, they clean up the blood and prep the presents. Until Brian realizes something.
Do you have a brother? Well, then who the hell is John? Oh my God, we're in the wrong house.
They just home invaded and assaulted the wrong family on Christmas Eve. Naturally, they flee as the police show up. Realizing they can't possibly finish delivering the gifts, Stewie and Brian wheel Santa onto live television. Santa, pale and near death, pleads with the world to stop demanding so much.
The reason there was no Christmas this year is that this man is sick, very sick, and he needs our help. He's been bludgeoned by years of greed and avarice. Cut back our demands and ask for only one Christmas present every year.
The message somehow works. A year later, Santa is healthy, the elves look less radioactive, and the world has adjusted. Great ending, right? And just when you think Stewie couldn't possibly go any further than ruining Christmas, he follows it up with murder. We're talking about the episode Man with Two Brians. Let's remember who really started all this. Peter. After watching Jackass, Peter decides to make his own version of the show. Because if someone warns you not to try something at home, obviously the right move is to grab your camcorder and ignore every safety law in existence.
Who could it be? Could it be? Believe it or not, it's just...
Predictably, things go wrong. Peter nearly dies, and so does Brian while trying to save him. Joe ends up rescuing both of them, and Peter returns home to face the wrath of Lois, not for being an idiot, but for endangering their 8-year-old dog.
Thank you, Lois.
I mean, he jumped into that lake to try and save your life, and he's 8 years old, Peter. 8! That's 56 in human years.
Peter immediately spirals. Convinced Brian is about to die of old age, he brings home a new dog, an upbeat, smiling, annoyingly perfect golden retriever named New Brian. And from the second he walks in, New Brian is a hit.
Hey, gang! Whose leg do you have to hump to get a hug around here?
He wins over the kids, he brings Peter breakfast, he plays gentle music to wake everyone up.
Brian, I went out for a run this morning and I found this stick. I thought you might like it.
Wow, thanks a lot.
And I got you this bag of weed. I don't smoke it myself, but I sure won't judge you.
Honestly, I'm starting to see the appeal. Except Stewie, who sees the truth immediately.
You have no idea what's going on here. He's not just a delightful new friend for the family. He's your replacement.
Oh, come on, that's ridiculous.
He instead tries to remind everyone of who he is, but no one cares. Everyone's too busy showing love and affection to New Brian.
This is your home. I know, but I've thought about this long and hard and...
Long and hard. I'm sorry, Brian. Please continue.
Brian decides to move out. A smart move. But now that Brian is gone, Stewie has to deal with New Brian directly. It starts small.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, what about it?
It doesn't bother you the way I pronounce it? Cool Whip?
No, why would it?
Cool Whip. I'm putting emphasis on the H.
Sounds right to me.
Stewie tries to keep his cool, but the tension builds. And then New Brian makes one fatal mistake. He makes a joke, if you can even call it that, about Stewie's teddy bear, Rupert.
Rupert. Humped him for 2 hours yesterday. He just laid there and took it. Yeah, and now every time you're sleeping with him, he's gonna be thinking of me.
He drags the corpse to the trash and writes a fake note. Because apparently murder is not complete without a bit of emotional manipulation.
And that is why I killed myself, chopped myself up, and put myself in the garbage.
And the Griffins? They believe it. And everyone just shrugs it off and moves on. No one even asks any questions. The episode Mr. and Mrs. Stewie begins with Stewie on a playground getting pushed around by a kid who refuses to share his toys. Stewie's about to rage, but then here comes Penelope.
Are you all right?
I'm fine. I didn't push him back because he has leukemia.
My name's Penelope.
Stewie, I've never seen you around here before.
Would you like to play with some of my toys, Stewie?
Penelope is voiced by none other than Cate Blanchett. When you can get her to voice your animated mayhem, you go all in. And Family Guy didn't hold back in this episode. Penelope starts things off strong by offering candy laced with super glue to the bully who shoves Stewie. The kid chokes, Penelope watches, and Stewie is absolutely blown away. This is his dream girl, or partner in terrorism. From there, it only gets worse. These two don't go to the mall. They don't sneak into a PG-13 movie. These lover kids build explosives, swap serial killer manifestos, and show off their private armories. They are Bonnie and Clyde, but with higher IQs and lower emotional stability.
Oh my god, you've got a weapons room too?
Stewie's admiration grows exponentially when Penelope casually mentions that she might have played a role in her mother's death. That's all it takes. Stewie's ready to lock it down. Marriage, kids, or at least a two-person dictatorship. The two proceed to play together, which somehow involves blowing up the Great Wall of China, bombing the Eiffel Tower,
And look at this note I sent off. Dear Pakistan, up yours. Love, India. Let's see what happens.
Yes, this episode probably cost some international relations majors their degrees. Stewie even volunteers to flood Copenhagen with a Roaring Twenties themed tidal wave.
We have to destroy Copenhagen with a tidal wave, and the theme is the Roaring Twenties. That's a challenge.
While most of Quahog is oblivious to the global destruction these kids are causing, Brian notices, and he is very reasonably concerned.
Stewie, Penelope is taking you down a dark path. Look, in the past you've done terrible things, but it's always been about the pursuit of your greater goal of world domination. She just creates chaos for the sake of chaos. I'm saying she's a bad influence on you and you should stop spending time with her.
So naturally, Stewie runs straight to Penelope to confess what Brian said. Her reaction?
Why, what did Brian say?
Oh, nothing. He just thinks you're a bad influence on me. Thinks I should stop seeing you.
He does. Do you love me?
More than anything.
Then swear on that love that you'll do what I ask.
Just name it.
Kill Brian for me.
Okay, to some credit, Stewie doesn't hesitate. And for a guy who once tried to assassinate his mother before his second birthday, that almost counts as growth. He makes a few sloppy attempts to carry out the hit, clearly conflicted. But in the end, he can't bring himself to go through with it. Penelope, however, is not big on disappointment.
I've got a package here for Brian Griffin.
Oh, that's me.
Brian, no!
Amazon Prime Sociopath Edition. They manage to evade the bomb, but Penelope shows up with a laser gun. Brian tries to hold her off, underestimating what a toddler with a flamethrower and a death wish can do.
Penelope, I can't let you do this!
Stewie, she's 1 year old. I think I can handle this myself. All right, Stewie, tag in.
The two soulmates, if you can even call them that, clash in an over-the-top final battle that includes gadgets, explosives, and enough chaos to bankrupt a small nation. Stewie barely wins, but just when you think it's over, Penelope distracts him with a kiss and manages to escape. Stewie is left broken, confused, and totally enchanted. This woman orchestrated multiple acts of terrorism, tried to murder his best friend, and left him hanging without so much as a goodbye. And yet, he is still super into her.
That was beautiful. I'm gonna tell my friends I banged her.
Okay, this baby needs therapy. So much therapy. Next up is the hand that rocks the wheelchair. And before you even ask, no, this is not about Stewie pushing Joe into traffic. Although, that wouldn't be completely out of character. Instead, it starts with Stewie being bullied at the playground. You would think a baby with a literal death ray in his closet would have this covered, right?
I believe. All right, I think we're all set here.
But somehow, despite all his planning, Stewie fumbles this one and it ends up backfiring. A rare L for the baby tyrant.
All right, I think you're going soft. I mean, when was the last time you tried to blow something up or take over the world?
And here comes the most unbelievable moment in the episode. Stewie doesn't retaliate. No taser, no elaborate revenge plot. He just takes it. Which, for Stewie, is a far bigger red flag than any act of violence. So, what does he do with that feedback? Some people would self-reflect, but Stewie opts for another alternative.
Well, Brian, I thought about what you said at the park, and I've decided you're right. I have gone soft. I've lost my sadistic streak. So I've built a concentrated neural enhancement device designed to boost my evil side.
Brian fires up the machine, and later walks out hoping to be more evil.
Well, how do you feel?
I don't know. I don't feel any different.
Well, why don't you try insulting me?
Sometimes you chase helicopters.
So, not quite the return of evil Stewie just yet. He thinks the machine has failed, except it hasn't. What it has done is create a second Stewie, a clone, one that is fully evil. And when I say evil, I don't mean stole an extra cookie evil. Evil Stewie's first act is to brutally assault Brian, which honestly doesn't even break the top 10 worst things Brian has endured on the show. When regular Stewie enters the scene, he's thoroughly confused. Brian tries to explain what just happened.
What the hell is your problem?
What did I do? You're the one going all Michael Hutchins over here.
You just stay away from me, you psychopath!
But before he can process that insult, evil Stewie casually strolls into frame. Stewie, in his true absurd fashion, is proud of what he sees. He has no idea he just invented a one-baby apocalypse. He tries to take the clone to run some tests, but evil Stewie has other plans.
Stewie, come with me. We're going to run a few tests on... Ah!
After that, evil Stewie straight up cuts a woman in half and jacks her car like this is Grand Theft Auto, Quahog Edition. Now in full damage control mode, Stewie blames Brian for everything.
You know, this really is all your fault. If you hadn't told me I was going soft, I wouldn't have created evil Stewie, he wouldn't have escaped, and we wouldn't be trying to track down a murderer.
Sure, Stewie, that tracks. Meanwhile, evil Stewie is terrorizing the town and taking out beloved characters one by one, including the Kool-Aid Man.
Oh yeah!
Eventually, Stewie and Brian try to lure evil Stewie into a trap.
Wherever you are, if you can hear me, I'm completely defenseless right now.
There you are.
Well, this is a gift, Brian. Thank you for making it so easy.
Hey, well, you know, you're doing me a favor. I've had enough. I can't live with that stupid family anymore.
Regular Stewie pounces at the last second, leading to the ultimate baby versus baby showdown. The fight is as absurd as it is violent. Eventually, Brian gets a gun, but with both Stewies now stripped of their clothes, he has no idea which one to shoot. So, he comes up with a creative way to identify the real Stewie.
Brian, it's me, Stewie. Shoot him! No, Brian, you know me. Look at me. Shoot him!
All right, there's only one way to settle this. Look at your feet.
Why? They're just feet. What are they doing down there? They're like leg hands.
And with that incredibly scientific test, Brian makes his choice. Allegedly, the right one. We never really verify that, do we? The episode ends with only one confirmed death, a random woman sliced in half, and the Kool-Aid Man, I guess. For a Stewie episode, that's practically a peaceful ending. We complete this list with the episode Stewie is enceinte, which, if you're not fluent in French, translate to Stewie is pregnant. Yes, you heard that right. The episode opens with Stewie trying to rope Brian into a trip to Whole Foods so he can stock up on gluten-free items. Brian wants absolutely no part of it, because of course he doesn't. And Stewie is left spiraling about whether he came off too desperate.
Didn't seem too desperate, right? Ugh, don't answer. It's just that Brian's been so distant lately, and we used to be inseparable.
Not one to take rejection lightly, Stewie pivots. He ups the offer.
What the hell are you doing?
I saw a scary boy doing this, and I thought I'd try it.
All right, have fun. I'm late.
Late? But I thought you and I could hang out and maybe watch Lois shush Peter while they watch Nashville.
Which girl is called Nashville?
Shush, Peter.
Maybe another time, Stewie.
Still, Brian is not convinced. He leaves Stewie alone again, just in time for Stewie to spot Joe and Bonnie lovingly playing with their daughter. And then he gets an idea. A big, bold, catastrophic idea. Babies. Stewie decides are how people stay connected. So what does Stewie do? Sit Brian down for a real conversation? No. He fakes a tea party, lures Brian in, and then builds a DIY fertilization machine using Brian's discarded hair and saliva.
Saliva and some preschool applications because we are already way behind. There. Now I just have to get into the machine, and then the machine does whatever it has to do to me in order to successfully impregnate me. We do not judge the machine, we do not judge Stewie.
Oh, yes we do, Stewie. We are judging you big time. Stewie impregnates himself with the dog's DNA. I'll give you a moment to scream. He then marches right up to Brian and says, "Surprise, we're parents." Brian reacts like any sane person would.
Rid of it? You know, why don't you just say it? Say the word, Brian. I want to hear you say it.
Abortion! Abortion! You need to get a big fat abortion right this second!
You can't even say it.
I think I'm gonna throw up.
But Stewie refuses. He is having this baby. Next stop, a checkup with Dr. Hartman, who, for the first time in his career, might actually be underreacting.
You look a little young. How old are you?
13? 14? 15. But he didn't force himself on me. I wanted it too.
Well, that's the important thing.
Is it though? Is it really? Then it's off to the baby store where Stewie, heavily pregnant, bonds with other expectant moms like this is a perfectly normal Tuesday in Quahog. And just when you think the episode has reached its weirdest point, it barrels right through that wall. Stewie has set up a maternity photo shoot.
I just got emotional.
It lasts about 12 seconds because he immediately goes into labor while eating lunch. While on the way to the hospital, Stewie gives birth. The visual of a 1-year-old giving birth is bad enough. The result? Somehow worse. Because these kids are not just part dog, they are part nightmare.
I just put Jack and Rose down for their nap, and I'm trying to keep the more attractive ones in this area.
This is a nightmare.
They are drooling, misshapen, barely sentient creatures. Melting bones, missing eyes, another is spinning in a circle because it doesn't have ears. It's less awe and more, why, God? Turns out this wasn't just about biology. He opens up about wanting to keep Brian close by getting a baby.
Them together.
What are you talking about? The whole point of what?
Well, you've been so distant lately. I thought if we had a baby, it would bring us closer together.
What? I was only distant because you've been so moody lately. I thought you needed more space. I always want to hang out with you.
I was only moody because you were so distant. I always want to hang out with you too.
Oh my God.
Which, again, might have been better resolved with a short conversation rather than an unauthorized genetic engineering enforced pregnancy. In the end, the two share a heartfelt moment surrounded by the chaos of their dying half-dog offspring. Then, they do what any totally rational co-parents would do in this situation.
This is for the best.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be adopted.
Oh God, yeah. I'm still keeping all the gifts from the baby shower.
You had a baby shower?
This episode is generally gross, it's disturbing, and it's one of the strangest examples of Stewie's completely absurd approach to friendship we have ever seen. Stewie Griffin has done a lot for a 1-year-old. Built machines, cloned himself, even carried a litter of half-dog babies. None of it makes sense, and that's exactly the point. One thing is clear, nothing about Stewie is ever normal, and somehow, that works perfectly.